May 18th, Khura'in, Bazaar. Those guys sure are persistent. Yeah, they even wore me out, and that doesn't happen often. Why are they after us anyway? Ah, Apollo, it's the Royal Guards again. Quick, hide!
Hey, where'd Hornhead and Spidey Hair go?
Spidey Hair? They're not talking about me, are they? Is that a trick question?
We know you're hiding somewhere around here.
Apollo, that weird-looking bird over there. Did it just... Yeah, it did. It's called a warp bot, and... You know what? I'll tell you all about it later when we're not being chased by masked men.
Come out, wherever you are. Hand over the Founder's Orb if you know what's good for you.
It figures they're after the orb. I don't want to know what they'd do to us if we were captured. If they grill us in these obnoxious, loud voices, I'd cave after the first hour and confess to whatever they wanted, truth or no.
Come out now, you foreign devils! Mrs. gone far enough. You must not keep Her Eminence waiting any longer.
We've got to get out of here. There must be a safe place to hide somewhere.
Yeah, and I already know.
Maybe we could hide here. No way, they'd find us in no time.
Stay where you are.
They're closing in on us. We gotta find a place to hide.
Oh, the obvious place.
Look, a manhole. Ah, that's right.
Say, son, you remember my office?
Sure. I remember that messy, dimly lit room.
The file I've amassed on Amara's assassination is kept there. I think it might help you on this case. Do you remember how to get there?
Athena, I know where we can hide. Follow me. Oh, where are we going? Wait, you're not seriously thinking about going down there? It smells like rotten eggs. And are those rats I hear? We've got no choice. I can get us somewhere safe, but this is the only way in. Quick, before it's too late. Ugh, it's gonna take forever to get this stench out of my hair. May 18th, former Sadmati Law Office. Looks like we lost them. That was close. Dirk's office. How long has it been since I last set foot in here? At least we're safe now, but... Why is Athena all huddled over in the corner like that?
Ah!
Dats?
AJ, what the heck are you doing here?
Duran's Royal Guards are after us.
Once a rebel, always a rebel. Don't worry, the regime doesn't know about this place, so you can relax now.
Good, but since when am I part of the rebellion?
I don't recall signing up.
Apollo? Mr. Wright? What are you doing here? We saw you two go into that manhole. You narrowly escaped the gods' notice. It was like watching a pair of ostriches burying their heads in the sand. I guess that was a closer shave than I had thought. Anyway, you're safe and sound now, and that's what really counts. Oh, I also have some evidence for you. Thanks, Mr. Wright. Case evidence received from the boss. So, what is this dubious hovel we found ourselves in anyway? It's the Defiant Dragon Safe House, also known as the former Samadhi Law Offices. I see. Well, though it might just be happenstance, here I am, a chief prosecutor hiding out in a rebel base. Please don't report this place to the local police, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Might as well take a look around while we're waiting for the heat to die down out there. Come on, Athena, stop moping over there and help me check this place out. Please tell me there's a shower here. There's a sink in the kitchen, and if you're lucky, maybe even some soap. I'm sorry I even asked. So, Dats, you guys are still using this office, I see. Yup, except now it's the official HQ for the Defiant Dragons. But as Dirk said, and I quote, "We must keep it for the day when Kurain needs lawyers once more." restoring the legal system to its rightful form through popular uprising. You can tell how much Dirk believes in his cause.
Oh, and AJ, Dirk said something else that might interest you. He said he hopes you'll come back and take over this office someday. Take over? Me? Those were his words. He may have been half joking, though. Dirk, guess what I heard from PW? AJ's become a lawyer. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. Must have been because of you, Dirk. I'm not so sure about that. I imagine he's already forgotten about me. What are you talking about? I bet he can't wait to follow in your footsteps. Nothing would make me happier. Maybe one day he'll return to Khura'in and take over this office. It's just a pipe dream, though.
Dirk really said that?
Dirk was never a hands-on kind of dad, but not a day went by that he wasn't thinking of you. That much I'm sure of.
Doesn't get more paternal than that. Dirk, and to think, I really did spend my days trying to forget you. I'm looking forward to a nice long talk once you're free. Indeed. Now to investigate this place. There's a scary-looking knife sticking out of the Queen's picture. If anyone saw this, they'd think the Defiant Dragons were a violent group.
Oh, that was actually me trying to kill a fly. I threw that knife at it, but I whiffed and the thing ended up stuck right between her eyes.
You mean this wasn't on purpose? It wasn't. Dats, what's with the altar?
It's where we pay our respects to the victims of the Defense Culpability. The DC Act is a heinous law that puts innocent people to death.
A law that's supposed to protect the people sends them to their graves instead. Talk about insane. Who's the kid?
Wait a second. That's you, Apollo. I recognize those horns anywhere. Is that really the only way anybody recognizes me?
You were so cute.
And who's that fine-looking young man?
That's Nayhuta, back when he used to smile.
Wow, his smile is absolutely angelic.
Sure brings back memories. That was taking the day we all went out fishing.
What was Prosecutor Sunmati like when he was younger?
He was kind of quiet but passionate when it came to his convictions. When he finally made prosecutor, he was all fired up to change Khura'in for the better. But now he's nothing more than Garon's lackey.
Seems like Dad has a lot to say about Nayhuta. I'll ask him about his thoughts later. I'm surprised to see so many appliances here. There's even a TV.
Speaking of which, we gave the people of Khura'in quite a shot when the Plumed Punisher Warrior of Neo Twilight Run was last on TV.
You mean that show where actors play the parts of Dirk and Rafa? You hijacked that in the middle of its broadcast, right?
Yup. All their writers do each week is try to ruin the Defiant Dragon's good name. So we decided to hit him where it hurts.
That must have been real shocking, especially for the kids who waited all week to see it. I mean, the show's main villain was actually hijacking the very show he's in.
I wonder what's in this file. Oh, it's full of newspaper clippings.
It seems to be a collection of documents and information on Amara's assassination. So this is what Dirk was talking about. We already know most of the stuff here on top. Let's see what else there is.
Wow, where did he get all this? Anything important here? What about this? Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. What? This is about your father, Apollo.
Looks like it, but I was never told much more than what's written here.
Really? How come?
Dirk always skated around the subject. Maybe he thought I was still too young. Plus, I always thought of Dirk as my dad, so I never really brought it up.
Oh, I see. Still, I feel kind of sorry for your real dad.
My real dad. I was never really interested in learning about him. But after seeing his picture, I can't help but feel a little curious. I wonder if Dads could tell me anything about him. Amara's assassination file.
Apollo, this file looks like it might be useful. But there are so many pages, I can't tell what's important.
We need someone to help organize all this. And I think I know just the person to ask. Sadmati Law Offices. That's the sign Dirk used to display out front. Hey, Dads. I heard the office used to do quite a bit of business. That it did. Dirk was a famous lawyer with countless courtroom victories, after all. He was the dauntless dragon who turned trials upside down, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. His fame as a lawyer spread far and wide across Khura'in back in the day. I hope the day comes when he can proudly display the sign again.
Dirk's jacket. You should try it on, Apollo. It might actually suit you.
Really? There's also a spare eye patch here. Why not try that on too?
Sorry. Just picturing you and all that. It's just too funny.
Ow. My pride. This is Dirk's old law book.
Look, there's a mark on the cover. It looks like it was branded on with a hot iron.
Yeah, I think it was done in protest against the defense culpability. There's an entry on the DC Act right here. See?
Oh, so this is the infamous anti-lawyer you guys are always talking about.
Mm-hmm. We've gotten much that we needed to know. Now let's talk. Dads, wasn't Nayhuta once part of the Defiant Dragons?
Yup, Yuddy was a rising star in the resistance.
He vowed to fight for the cause through the legal system. Said he'd become a prosecutor and give Inga and Garan the smackdown they deserved. But now he's, a puppet of the Garan regime. Not only that, but now he's gonna prosecute his own dad. Doesn't add up.
I wonder what happened to him.
Me too. But if I had to guess, I'd say Garan has some serious leverage over him. Leverage? Like what? Wish I knew, but it seems like Dirk knows. I tried to press him about it, but he wouldn't say. Come to think of it, Dirk did say. Nayhuta is suffering? Yes, he knows the rightful state of Khura'in's legal system. But something forces him to bend to Garan's will, and it's tearing him apart. Okay. Sorry about that. If that's the case, I bet Nayhuta doesn't really want to go through with Dirk's prosecution. Well, time for us to present the Amara's assassination file. That's a lot of evidence. Dads, about this file, can you help me figure out which pages are the most relevant?
Yup, sure can. I got the whole thing memorized.
See this page? It's definitely worth a look. Oh, that's right. Prosecutor Sadmati was part of the royal family, wasn't he? Yep, but he was expelled after the whole thing with Dirk happened. He must have gone through hell once he entered the legal world because of the sins of the father are visited upon his children thing. Yup, in the eyes of the people, Dirk is not only a traitor to his kingdom, he's also the terrorist who assassinated the previous queen. So as his son, Yudi no doubt got the cold shoulder at every turn. That must have been really hard on him. Yeah, the ties between father and son are something you could break even if you tried. No matter where he went, he was probably labeled the son of a criminal. But despite it all, he made a name for himself through blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, just look at him now. He's a star prosecutor working cases around the globe. He's become a hero, the pride and joy of Khura'in. Now that's the Nayhuta I know. Super smart and never willing to give in. He must have studied and fought like his life depended on it to get to where he is today. Yep. Dats, I wanted to ask you about this picture. That's the picture of your pops that Dirk found, and he had a heck of a time tracking it down. He said he searched all over for it. Why? Why would he go through all that trouble?
Dats, please tell us everything you know about Apollo's dad.
Do you know what my biological father was like? Dirk once told me about him. He was a modern minstrel, walking the world and making music in his travels.
This file also has some information on your real dad. He says he died in the blaze at Queen Amara's residence 23 years ago.
That's right. Dirk had invited him over. Dirk's the kind of guy who can become fast friends with just about anyone. And it seems your pops was like that too, AJ. They hit it off at a bar, and the next thing you know, Dirk asked him over to play some tunes. And then the place went up in flames. Yeah, Dirk had just stepped out for a sec when the fire broke out. Apollo, you were there too, but you were still just a baby.
I remember hearing about that when I was little.
Yeah, it was a crying shame. Your pops just happened to take you along that day. You were there with him when the fire broke out, but Dirk risked his life to save you. It's like Dirk's done nothing but save me all my life. All your pop's stuff's got burned up, including anything that could have helped us identify him. All we knew about him at first was his stage name, Jangly Justice or something like that. Dirk did everything he could just to dig up what little we know now. What about my mother? Do you know anything about her? All we know is she was traveling with your pops, but that day she was off doing something on her own. So then she probably didn't even know my father had been with Dirk, huh?
But she must have been desperate to find you and your father once you've gone missing.
No doubt, but the Queen's assassination threw the kingdom into chaos. The police were so overwhelmed they were probably hardly of any help to her. We searched and searched till our legs gave out too, but we never found her. And with your father's stuff all burned up, we had zero leads. Not even a photo. So that's how I became an orphan. Yeah, who knows? Maybe your mom read about the details of the fire in the newspaper. And maybe she figured you died along with your pops.
Wow, I had no idea you'd been through all that, Apollo.
So then you believe me? You believe in my son's innocence?
Your poor son, in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Let's petition the government for his release and a declaration of innocence.
Oh, thank you. I'm forever in your debt. Who's that? Hey there, Mrs. Inme. Hard at work, I see.
Yes, I have my own battle that I must wage. After all, there are many who suffer under the Defense Culpability Act.
Mrs. Inme, please don't forget about our case, too.
I won't. I will look into it as soon as I am able.
Dads, what's Mrs. Inme doing here? She's lending an ear to all those suffering under the regime's wrongful accusations. A lady whose husband had been in prison, parents whose sons been falsely charged. She's helping all those types of people. So she's trying to help the revolution along, in her own special way. Yup, and thanks to her, more and more folks are coming over to our side. All the people who've been unhappy with the regime have been waiting for just this chance, and they're starting to speak out in support of us. The people are responding, and a grassroots movement is growing. Dirk's dream of revolution may finally come true.
What should we do about the Founder's Orb? We'll probably run into the Royal Guards again the moment we leave this place.
Well, we can't stay here forever, so we'll have to think of something. I've got it. Why don't you hold on to it, Dats? It should be safe here, right? You can count on me. I'll get it back to you in time for tomorrow's trial at the Hall of Justice. Founder's Orb left with Dats.
What now, Apollo?
Well, we've got a handle on what happened 23 years ago. Maybe we should pay Dirk a visit. There's something I want to show him. I'll join you. I want to talk to him before tomorrow's trial. Maybe I should wait here, then. We'll attract undue attention if we go in too large of a group. Good idea. Now it's time we head for the detention center, visitor's room. May 18th, detention center, visitor's room. Hey there, son.
Came to see your old man again?
Hi, Dirk. Guess you're done questioning you?
Yeah. You'd think Nayhuta might have cut his old man a little slack, but no. He really laid into me. Seems they're really keen on recovering the Founder's Orb. When I wouldn't tell him where it was, he confiscated what few possessions I had left.
Wait, Dirk's not wearing his attorney's badge. They even took that from him?
Yup. He confiscated all of my prized jailbreaking tools.
What did you expect? I mean, no prosecutor in their right mind would let a prisoner keep stuff like that. Did he take your attorney's badge too?
No. I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind.
I wonder why.
Indeed. I find it hard to understand anything he does these days.
Your Khura'in's attorney's badge. You've worn it all these years, even though all the lawyers are gone.
Yes, because the dragon's eye is the embodiment of my creed.
To show the world that a dragon never yields, huh? Hey, Dirk, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right?
This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream. Not until my very last breath.
A dragon never yields, right?
Exactly. Nayhuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Khura'in's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny.
He was always saying stuff like that to the two of us. Nayhuta is the reason why you didn't take Dirk's badge? Because you still remember those talks too? I really hope that's what it is.
Son, would you keep my badge for me?
Are you sure? I can't take something so important to you.
That's exactly why I want you to hold on to it, Apollo. I'm placing my fate in your hands.
All right, I'll make sure it stays safe. Now we need to present said badge. But before that, though, wonder what this is. I found this in the tomb. Look familiar?
That's...
Dirk, where did you find it? Down between the monk statues in the tomb. Is it yours, Dirk?
Oh, it's something I bought.
Why is he suddenly acting all awkward?
I wonder when I lost it. Let's have it. It's very important to me.
Of course. I'll just make a note about it for future reference. Yep. Apollo, remember how Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk? Why don't you ask about that? Oh, right. I'll give it a try. Now let's... let's talk. Something new. What did the minister mean when he said he had someone dear to you in the palm of his hand? Who was he talking about? Nayhuta seemed to know, but he wouldn't tell me anything.
Well, I have no idea, so...
Well, you obediently followed his every word after he said that. So it seems to me the minister was in close proximity to someone you really care about. Someone you really care about that isn't Nayhuta. Wait, don't tell me. Is there a new lady in your life, Dirk?
What? No! Don't be ridiculous, son. The love of my life was Amara, but she's gone now and there will never be another.
Wait a second. Ah, my bracelet. Wait, does this mean... Dirk, have you really not met somebody new?
The love of my life was Amara. But she's...
Gotcha! You are hiding something. Dirk, you seemed tense when you said that Amara was gone now. To the point where your arm was moving around.
What are you talking about?
You're hiding something up your sleeve, aren't you?
Huh? What's with these wild allegations? I'm not hiding a thing. My arm had an itch, that's all.
Itchy on my butt. I'll just have to take an extra close look at his nervous habit and confront him with something he can't explain his way out. Why not? Why not? I know it's there. No, let's stop for now, because I gotta figure that out. Let's just analyze the badge.
Ah, my attorney's badge. You don't see those around here anymore.
It's not exactly something you can wear publicly, is it?
Yeah, and if you did, people would jeer and throw things at you. I've had tomatoes, cabbages, even eggs thrown at me.
That sounds awful, but at least they didn't throw rocks.
True. Plus, if you were good at catching things, you have the start of a good meal.
What?
It's true. An hour's walk can yield all you need for a nice big hot pot.
Dirk, I'm sorry I never knew how bad things were when you were raising me. Now let's proceed. Right here,
The love of my life was Amara.
what?
Bingo! Gotcha!
Dirk, you can't fool me. You tensed up when you said, but she's gone now. And you unconsciously moved your arm, causing something to press up against your jacket.
Ugh. How did you do that?
Oh, so that's it. You're hiding a woman's photo up your sleeve. You don't have to keep secrets like that from me, Dirk. You're an eligible bachelor now, but you'll introduce her to me at some point, right?
I keep telling you there's no other woman.
Fine, then let's see it. What are you hiding up your sleeve?
It's just this. Satisfied?
Huh? But that's the pendant we found in Amara's tomb.
See? I wasn't trying to hide anything.
Then why did he tense up? Dirk, let me take a look at that.
Huh.
Hey, what's this button for? Whoa. It's a picture of Dirk and some lady. And she's really young looking too. Mon Dieu! Are you and a younger woman, Dirk? Dirk, you old dog, you. You got yourself a younger lover.
Will you stop with this nonsense? This is Amara before she died. If you look closer, you'll see that I was younger too.
Hey, you're right. Aw, that's no fun. Wait a second. Haven't we seen this woman before? Now that you mention it, isn't this woman the same as the one in the pendant's photo? Yes, this one.
Take that!
The woman in the pendant is also the one in this photo.
Apollo, where did you get this?
From the safe in Inga's room. Apollo, if this is Queen Amara, it had to have been taken at least 23 years ago. But that's just not possible.
Yeah,
I just noticed the same thing. Here's why this photo couldn't be 23 years old. Yeah, the law book in the photo. This one. Take a look at the law book. It has the mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. But that mark didn't exist until after you started your revolutionary activities, Dirk. So this photo must have been taken after Khura'in came into power. And that didn't happen until after Amara was assassinated. So then how could Amara even be in this photo? Wait a second. That would mean that Amara is still alive?
Ah! Looks like you found me out, son.
Wait, so it's actually true? Dirk, what do you mean Amara's still alive? I thought she'd been assassinated.
So did I. but it seems she made it out alive only to be held captive by the Khura'in regime.
Why would they do that?
When I fled from the law and went underground 23 years ago, I heard some shocking news from a Defiant Dragon spy. There were rumors of Queen Amara being sighted in the palace.
And those rumors turn out to be true?
Yes, I snuck into the palace to see for myself. She was confined within the grounds, but otherwise she was as fit as a fiddle.
So then, the sarcophagus in the tomb, it's empty?
Yes, that entire tomb is one big charade. Khura'in had it built to stage Amara's death.
So we're not going to be cursed by her vengeful spirit? That's a relief.
She was being held under virtual house arrest, so I freed her and we made a run for it. This photo was taken back then.
Look at how they're both grinning from ear to ear. There's a fingerprint on the metal part. I guess Dirk must have left it by accident.
Ooh, Mr. Sadmati, I want to hear all about how you ran away with Queen Amara.
Yep, updated. I'm surprised Amara agreed to run away with you. I mean, Khura'in must have told her that you tried to kill her.
I tried to convince her that I wasn't the one who set the blaze.
And she believed you?
She said, and I quote, "I shall accompany you so I may ascertain the truth myself." She always was a tough one to read.
I bet she was thrilled when you came to her rescue, Mr. Sadmati. To be set free by your beloved. It's like something out of a fairy tale.
Yeah, well, there was no happily ever after once Khura'in's people caught up with us. They took Amara away to who knows where. I snuck back into the palace and searched high and low for her, but to no avail. They probably moved her to some remote mountain prison or the like.
Dirk, does Nayhuta know about this?
He knows she's his true mother. I told him as much.
Wait, is that why Nayhuta is following Khura'in's orders?
Most likely.
So then do you think that deep down he doesn't really want to prosecute you?
Well, he's not one to show his feelings. And lately I've had no idea what he's thinking.
Apollo, we need to grill the queen about Amara when we have the chance.
I was wondering about something. The little baby the lady's holding, is that Prosecutor Sadmati?
Not necessarily. It could just as well be me. After all, we're only 1 year apart.
I don't know. I mean, the kid in the picture's too cute to be you.
Let's settle this by asking Dirk himself. Dirk, about the cute little kid in this photo. Is that me?
Huh? What are you talking about?
See? I told you it was Prosecutor Sadmati.
Oh, I see. Well, either way, it's not you, son.
So then, if it's Nayhuta, it was taken when he was about 1 year old, right? And that would mean you ran away with Amara around 22 or 23 years ago.
You're pretty good with numbers, son. Impressive.
Huh? What kind of answer is that?
Before you go, son, there is something else I need to tell you. Something important.
What is it, Dirk? I've never seen you act so serious before. So what's this something important you have to tell me?
Listen, son. Even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow, I don't have long to live.
Huh? What are you talking about?
What I mean is, I can already hear the Twilight Realm calling my name. There is no escaping death now that it has its sights set on me.
What? Is this another one of your jokes?
I wish it was.
You can't fool me, Dirk. That's strange. Why isn't my bracelet reacting? Are you sick?
It's something like that.
So you're not joking. I'm afraid not, son. Sorry.
Isn't there a cure? Or at least some sort of treatment?
Unfortunately not. Not for what I've got.
If you need some kind of surgery, I'll work hard until I can pay for it. So, please.
It's too late. There's nothing more to be done now.
What do you always say? A dragon never yields. So why are you giving up now?
Apollo, I'm sorry. I really am.
I don't understand. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why?
Listen, Apollo. I've got a favor to ask of you. Would you keep quiet about this? I don't want my fellow dragons to find out. They lose all hope if they knew I was dying. Would you do that for me?
Of course. Why is this happening now? Just when I was finally starting to feel like you really are my... I thought that this time we'd finally... But now... Damn it! Why? Apollo!
Listen, son. I don't have much longer to live. But I'll never let them execute me. Not before I finish what I need to do.
I know, Dirk. There's no way I'm gonna let them prove you guilty. Before he goes, I'm gonna turn back time by righting the wrongs that have been done. I'm going to restore Dirk's freedom. And return a real smile to Nayhuta's face. I'm gonna win this case. I just have to.
Son, I have one more big secret.
What? There's something else you've been hiding from me?
I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'd be betraying a certain someone if I did.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Forgive me. You'll just have to find out for yourself. That's the only way.
I don't understand, Dirk.
Apollo, in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth, no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all.
Dirk, what is he talking about? Wait, he's not gonna reveal that he actually is the killer, is he? Looks like we've run out of things to discuss. Apollo, are you okay? I'm fine.
Free him now! Release Dirk!
What's going on out there?
Sounds like the party's getting started without me.
Huh? It's coming from the temple. Let's go, Apollo, and take a look. Dirk. May 18th, Temple. Whoa! What is all this?
Ow! Let go, will ya?
What are they?
Huh? Well, look at that. The people are coming to take their courts back.
Don't hold back, man! Arrest them all!
Dirk belongs to the people. Give him back. Yeah! Where are you holding him?
Quiet down, you!
They have my big sister too, but she didn't do anything wrong. Ouch! Ouch! Stop pulling my hair! Release my son! Release him now! Ah! Stop that! No biting! This is really something. And it looks like Dads and Mrs. Inme are leading the charge.
You unenlightened fools.
Do you honestly think this will change anything?
Beauty! Why do you keep serving that witch Khura'in?
It's... Hey, Nayhuta!
You again.
What's going on here?
It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion. But I never thought it would grow so large. However, they will all be under arrest shortly. Reinforcements are almost here. They'll be arrested just for protesting? They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. Her Eminence Queen Kurain has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. But weren't you once a member of the Defiant Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I am simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. No, it can't be as simple as that. Listen, Nayhuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey! You're not getting away this time! We need to talk! I see there is no reasoning with you. Very well then, speak. Nayhuta, do you really have to serve as prosecutor on Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood? It's just not right. Again with this drivel? Your ethical standards are not the be-all end-all of the world around you. I'm not getting into another debate with him. Nayhuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? He apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. If found guilty, he probably wouldn't even make it until his execution day. What are you talking about? Knowing this, are you still prepared to send an already dying man to his grave? Well, Enough of the Zenmont act, Nayhuta! Tell me how you really feel! Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill, and I must fulfill mine. Well, I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is a part of your lot in life. As for why you've been at Kurain's every beck and call, I think I might have an answer. Nayhuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere. So Dirk told you, did he? Yes, it's true. My mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom to keep her safe from harm. Safe from harm? But Dirk said the Kurain regime is holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. So you don't know where Amar is being held. I only know that it is some secluded hideaway where visitors are not allowed. I have heard she leads a simple life akin to that of monastic disciples. Sure sounds like she's being held captive to me. Listen, Nayhuta, aren't you really doing the queen's bidding? Because she's holding Amara captive. And this whole thing with Dirk? You know he didn't really kill Inga, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live, so I want to help him however I can. This time, it's our turn. You could have been killed, but you risked your life to save us. Why?
What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Nayhuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand?
It's our turn to help Dirk however we can. What you speak of is futile. Let it go and move on. The guilty verdict, the hopelessness. You must resign yourself to it all. Clinging to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair. So let it go and move on. Nayhuta, are you really gonna just roll over on this? I've no more time for idle chatter. I must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Apollo, I sense the whirlpool of emotions coming from within Prosecutor Sanmati just now. Anger, shock, bewilderment, and an icy sorrow as deep and dark as an abyss.
Yeah, I picked up on that too. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who'll need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Kurain another visit and ask her about her sister Amara. That's exactly the plan. May 18th, Kurain Palace, Audience Chamber. The Royal Guard isn't around.
That is utter.
Hooey!
You cannot continue to deceive the people like that! Rafa, justice is much more than simply speaking the truth.
Is that Princess Rafa and Queen Garan over there?
You deceived me too, Mother! How can I ever believe a word you say again? You nincompoop! Huh?
Your benevolence. I couldn't help but overhear.
You impudent!
Ow! Are you okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. Yeah, I'm used to it by now.
What's the matter with the princess?
It sounded like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has something to do with this picture. Rafa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as soon as she saw it. So then, does that mean that Princess Rafa knows what really happened? That Amara wasn't assassinated and is still very much alive? It would seem so, and she doesn't seem to be taking Garan's lies very well. But that's no surprise considering how much Rafa reveres her mother.
That would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness. Eavesdropping, are we? How very rude. You there, are you not Dirk's son?
Oh, nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We're actually here to speak with you if you could spare a moment. Your Eminence, Dirk told me all about Amara, about how she's still alive, that is.
We know not of what you speak.
After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they ran off together. But she was captured and remains captive in a secret location to this day. As for Nayhuta doing your bidding, it's only because Amara's life is in your hands.
What an active imagination you have.
A lawyer and a comedian, how troll.
Whoa, where'd they come from? Anyway, if she's gonna play dumb, I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence. And I know just what to use it on. Your Eminence, I ask that you take a look at this photo.
Why,
It's a photo of Amara, and here you can see a law book bearing the mark of the Defiant Dragons. I believe you know what that means.
Very well. Royal Guard, stand down.
Yes, Your Eminence. Your wish is our command.
It seems there is no need to perpetuate this charade any longer. We shall speak of all we know.
So then you admit that Amara's still alive?
Yes, she is under our protection in a safe location.
I think you mean being held prisoner. And where is she being kept?
Now, why would we tell the son of a traitor that?
Guess she has a point there.
Now heed our warning, horned devil. It would not be wise to inform the people that Amara yet lives. It would only serve to plunge public order into chaos.
I have no intention of doing that. Besides, there are real terrorists out there who might try to kill her.
Good. Now there was something we have been meaning to ask you. Do you know what has become of the Founder's Orb? The Founder's Orb went missing after Dirk took it into the tomb. As his son, we thought you might know something of its current whereabouts.
I knew it. I suppose I should thank you for that free-running tour of Khura'in.
That was the Royal Guard's own doing.
Nice try, lady. But now you're definitely not getting the orb ever. Why do you want the orb so badly anyway?
Because it would be most dangerous in the wrong hands. It must be recovered.
Is the legend true? Can the orb really impart spiritual power? Are you worried that someone could overthrow you with it?
The Holy Mother's power is without equal. Should Her Holiness once again return to our world, she could conceivably bestow great power upon the one who unlocked the orb's secret.
I guess it makes sense considering spirit channeling is a fact of life here.
So we ask you, Horned Devil, did you receive the Founder's Orb from Dirk?
Does it look like I did?
So you like to play games, do you?
Royal Guard!
Yes, Your Eminence.
Search this devil and his belongings.
What?
At once, Your Eminence! Don't move! You're only making things harder on yourself!
Yikes! Hey, cut it out! What the? Apollo, don't strip here!
Stop resisting! Just submit to our strip search already!
That's creepy. No, wait! Hey, cut it out! Ah! Rest in pieces, my poor tattered dignity.
There's no sign of the Founder's Orb, Your Eminence.
So you have hidden it somewhere. No matter. We shall recover it one way or another once you are found guilty of abetting the accused. Dirk was right. She really is bent on getting that orb. Mother! Looks like the princess is back. I took a stroll to try to calm myself, but I still find the situation unacceptable. The people must be informed about Queen Amara. So she does know about that. Rafa, you do not yet possess a clear grasp of how a government and its people interact. There will always be secrets that must be kept from the ignorant masses. You have little faith in our people, Mother, but it is the royal priestess' duty to always speak the truth. And as such, I cannot remain silent. I will not. The truth, you say. Your mind has been poisoned by the barbed one.
It was an honor and a pleasure, Your Eminence.
We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child, after all. Now, if you would excuse us.
Discipline? Coming from her? I don't like the sound of that at all.
Well, Apollo, let's head back to the safe house for now.
Good idea. We need to go over what we found and collect our thoughts.
Yup. May 18th. Former Sadmati Law Office. Law Offices.
Ah, you're back.
Thank you for holding down the fort, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sorry it took so long.
Hope you weren't too bored. I watched The Plume Punisher, Warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm while you were gone. And my verdict is, it's an outrage. Especially its theme song. Even worse, the people here believe it's an original Khura'in show. Can you believe it? I've already spoken about a link with Mr. Arbol, and I'm not sure what he's babbling about, but at least it seems he wasn't bored. Moving along to things that actually matter, we've gathered about all the information and evidence we can concerning this case. I think it's time we go over everything we learned so far. The Orb trial, Maya's abduction, and the murder of the mastermind behind it all, Justice Minister Inga. It's a lot to consider. Think you have all the facts straight in your head? Yup, I've got it covered, Mr. Wright. It's the truth about what really went down that's going to be the problem. Yeah, it's like the more we learn about this case, the less we understand. I agree. There's a deep darkness enveloping this case. I'm almost afraid of what we will find once we lift that black veil. Suffice to say, the real killer is certainly waiting underneath. The real killer, huh? Now that's the million-dollar question. Who killed Inga and why? Think, Apollo. Who would you say had a motive to commit this crime? I, for one, am drawing a complete blank. I want to know how the killer slipped into the tomb, killed Inga, and slipped back out, without ever being seen. That's a bona fide locked room mystery right there. Well, we've collected plenty of evidence and statements. I just hope the rest comes out in court. It'll be a thinner tightrope than usual, that's for sure. This case has one big fly in the ointment. In order to prove Dirk completely innocent, we'll also have to exonerate him of the crime committed 23 years ago. Amara's supposed assassination. Right, we know Amara's still alive, but Dirk could still be charged with plotting to kill her. He couldn't discover the truth, even after over 2 decades of investigating. So our biggest hurdle is going to be the complete lack of evidence. The fire made sure of that. Mr. Wright, have you ever won a case without any evidence?
No, that's one thing I've never done before. A trial unprecedented even in the decorated annals of the Wright Anything Agency. Still, I can't help but wonder, was there really no evidence left behind? Oh, and we can't forget about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, if Dirk is found guilty and is sentenced to death, we'll likely join him in a very public execution. Yeah.
Beat the charges or die? What kind of crazy upside-down legal system is this anyway?
Don't worry, I can't ask someone as young as you to risk your life, Athena. So tomorrow, it'll just be me and Apollo on the courtroom floor. But you can support us by watching from the gallery.
What? No! I want to help! I'm part of the agency too, after all!
Sorry, but this is a direct order from your boss. Plus, there's Prosecutor Blackwell to think of. He said he used me for sword practice if I put you in harm's way.
Simon. Well, at least promise me this, you two. Promise me you'll make it back alive.
Make it back alive.
Huh.
What's with that face, Apollo? You'll never inspire confidence in your client like that. And it'll play right into the prosecution's hands. Remember, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're right. Even when it seems hopeless or when there's not a shred of evidence to be found, we can never let it show on our faces, right? But will I actually be able to do that tomorrow? When push comes to shove, will I be able to force my biggest smile? That's something I wonder. And let me tell you, the case itself, that's endgame. It's gonna get nuts, I tell ya. Nuts. That's it. Next time is the trial, and it's a big sword split into 3 parts. But if push comes to shove, I'll have to split it further. If you enjoy it, like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. I will see you then. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Product provided by Capcom.